We need to practice kshanti, patience, forbearance, non-retaliation, non-anger, non-hatred, loving kindness. We need to, because this world is just full of so many kinds of suffering. In the Bodhicharyavatara, Shantideva lists a number of sufferings that happen to us. And I must admit, when I read that in the Bodhicharyavatara, I felt a wonderful sense of relief. We have this idea that the world should be happy. We should be happy all the time. And if we're not happy, something's terribly wrong and we need to do something about it. But from another point of view, happiness is important, I'm not disputing that. From another point of view, dukkha, suffering, is woven into this life. And if we don't bear it, if we don't forbear in relation to it, it's very easy to fall into anger and hatred and resentment. So because dukkha is part of life, kshanti has to be part and essential to our spiritual practice. In Shantideva's, the quotation from Shantideva says that there is no higher spiritual practice than kshanti. This goes back to the Buddha himself. The Buddha says that kshanti is the highest asceticism, the highest tapasya. You don't need to go on long fasts or torture yourself in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. All you need to do is practice kshanti in relation to the sufferings of life. That's all you need to do. That's the highest spiritual practice. That's the way that you create spiritual heat. Tapas means heat, the making of spiritual heat. Life presents endless opportunities for this spiritual practice. Just think about it. There's illness. We have a human body. We have a physical body. We will get sick. We'll get disease. There are viruses. There are epidemics. We will get sick. We will get back pain and shoulder pain. There is also the suffering of just aging, all the sufferings that go with getting older. There's the suffering of loss, of loved ones leaving us. There's the suffering of mosquitoes, lots of mosquitoes at Padmavajra at the moment, biting away. In all sorts of ways, just living. There are all kinds of sufferings that come to us. There's sufferings too that go with practicing the Dharma. Practicing the Dharma is not a smooth and easy path because we have to be very, very truthful with ourselves. We have to be very, very truthful about our habits. It's very difficult to change habits. It's very important to just acknowledge that. Yes, we're going to have to bear the fact that change is difficult. And we will feel frustrated sometimes because we'll feel blocked in meditation, or we'll fall away from our high ideals, or we'll feel at times even let down, or apparently let down by other people within our spiritual community. The Bodhisattva path is fraught with suffering. Think of what a Bodhisattva tries to do. A Bodhisattva tries to create a community, tries to bring people together, tries to build a Buddha land in this imperfect world. Tries to do that. In our own way, we try to follow that. We have our Buddhist centres, we create our communities, we change for the better. But what happens? Things go wrong. Centres get closed down. People turn against us. Even our nearest and dearest might resent the fact that we're changing for the better. They don't like the fact, perhaps, that we're becoming more positive, more happy, more independent, more individual. Then again, there are things in the world that are very, very hard to bear. There's the sufferings of injustice that we see around us. That's particularly painful for people. When people see that people are oppressed, or people are oppressed, they're not just seeing it, they are the oppressed, being oppressed by other people. These are all woven into life. These are the sufferings of life that arise again and again and yet again. And they come without our bidding. We never know when they're going to arise. So all the time we need to be practicing, or ready to practice, kshanti. To bear, to forbear, to endure the sufferings that come to us, and not respond to them with dejection, with sorrow, with anger, with hatred. We need, as I said before, to pull out the barb that will react to this suffering.